What is about Will Film number one fans and viewers? This is Scott Casey Gale, Will Film number one, and today I'm going to give you my recap and review of the new Ryan Murphy, the 8-episode series, Feud, Bette and Joan, based on the real-life feud between actresses Joan Crawford and Bette Davis. Okay, let's begin with the recap, shall we? Here we go. Feud features narration by Catherine Zeta-Jones and Kathy Bates as actresses Olivia de Havilland and Joan Blanda, offering their thoughts to a documentary filmmaker in 1978 on the struggle of women in Hollywood during the 1950s and 60s. But the real story is all about Joan Crawford and Bette Davis making Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Okay. The pilot brings all the elements together for the film as we see the early stage of Bette and Joan's feud. And right from the beginning, their fake smiles and non-stop power moves are a delight. Joan Crawford finds a comeback role. The meat of the story begins in the 1961 Golden Globes, where Joan Crawford, played by Jessica Lange, watches young starlet Marilyn Monroe win an award. Joan is tired of being yesterday's it girl. Because she still sees herself as the center of the world, she wants to get back at the film. Also, she needs the money as the nest egg is running out ever since the husband of the CEO of Pepsi died. Joan brings her Oscar from 16 years ago to her agent's office, demanding another one. But the only roles out there for women her age are playing Elvis Presley's grandmother. Joan is forced to find her own role, sending her maid and right-hand woman, Mamacita, played by Jackie Hoffman, to find books about older ladies. That's how she stumbles upon the novel Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. It's a horror thriller about two sisters, former Hollywood stars living together and fighting. Joan gets a director. Joan sends the book to director Robert Eldrick, played by Alfred Molina, who is eagerly looking for something new to do instead of the same old scandal and short epics. His assistant Pauline, played by Alison White, urges him to do it because it's a small cast with one set and he can have the final cut. Joan finds Bette Davis. The last piece of the Baby Jane puzzle is for Joan to recruit a co-star. She wants Bette Davis, played by Susan Sarandon, who she finds at stage production of The Night of the Iguana. Joan meets Bette in a dressing room, and the scene is filled with passive aggression, such as when Joan goes out her way as to bring up Bette's bad reveals. Joan is able to convince Bette to join Baby Jane because no one is casting women their age. So if they want to be in films, they need to make it happen themselves. However, the origins of the impending feud are evident right from the start, like the talent exchange. Joan, I'm offering you the title role. Bette, the lead? Joan, you can call it that. Bette reads the book and calls up Robert, who begs her to be in the movie. He tells her he needs her to make it good. Already being forced to choose favorite among stars. The struggle to meet Baby Jane. Okay. With the stars on board, Robert has a hard time convincing studios to actually make a movie starring two older actresses. Eventually, he brings up the parts to the head of the Warner Brothers, Jack Warner, played by Stanley Tucci. Warner is depicted as the epitome of the Mr. male-dominated Hollywood, slapping his masseuse on the ass and questioning whether or not any guys would want to sleep with Bette and Joan. Jack has problems dealing with Bette and Joan in the past, knowing how difficult and demanding they can be. He's particularly angry at Bette because she sued him many years ago, and even though the lawsuit, it needed a studio contract system. He wants her to suffer, but mind changes when Robert offers to pay him first, from it all comes down to money. The settlement is echoed at the contract signing, where Bette and Joan lock horns and Joan rants and waves to Robert because Bette is being paid more than her. Joan claims that it's all about trust, but then she demands more money. Robert agrees, and it's clear that this is going to be a horrible experience from him, being broken down on both sides of two powerhouse women. Vignettes from Betty and Joan's marriage and relationships start to reveal that they're basically the same person. The two strong-willed actresses who demand respect, but they're both devoted to trying to be the best. If they could simply get past their own egos, they'd probably be best friends. The first day of Baby Jane, on the first principal photography, Joan shows up with gifts for the crew and even installs a Pepsi magnet on the stage. Betty thinks she's sucking up to get better lighting with her daughter, Beatty, played by Madman's Karen Shipka, thinks Joan is just being nice. The two stars meet up in an attempt to bury the hatchet. Betty states clearly how they may not like each other, but they both need the film to do well, and they're both talented, so they could focus on the work. Naturally, Betty gets one jab about Joan's shoulder pads and makeup and undoes all the goodwill. Joan immediately begins seeing her under her skin that that Betty is trying to tell her how to act. Joan films her first scene and gets positive feedback. She feels great, but then the spotlight gets stolen. Betty creates her own demented look for the two characters using an old wig Joan wore in a film from the 30s and painting her face white for dramatic effect. It's comically terrifying, and Betty struts out of her dressing room as the crew shine on the spotlights on her. Betty walks right up to Joan and Robert, then takes the bow and reveals how her accent for the role, saying "Hello, Daddy." Robert starts to clap, and the entire crew join him as Joan sneaks away into darkness. Now that's an entrance. The episode ends with Betty and Joan attending a dinner party with gossip of columnist Heather Harper, played by Judy Davis. Heather wants to do it, but the two actresses play nice. Heather is disappointed, but anyone can see how much turmoil is brewing beneath the surface. Just things are gonna get ugly. And I would give this episode 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, way up. It had a lot of F-bombs for a cable series. Like, I know the American Crime Story had F-bombs, but this had more F-bombs than just one F-bomb. So that's really pushing the envelope there. But anyway, I liked it. Ryan Murphy knows how to do a good series. Like I said, I give this episode 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, way up. I think Susan Sarandon and Jessica Lange are doing a great job. I think Stanley Tucci is amazing. I think the whole entire cast is amazing. You really feel the tone in this. And I think it's just going to be, and I think the next 7 episodes are going to be really, really good. Anyway, comment down below in the comments section. Tell me exactly what you thought about this series. Subscribe to my best close friends BB77, Jade Films, Conscious Kid 14, Godzilla Hawk, National Western Shooters, MWS Revolution, MWS Network, Global Super Entertainment, and Vince Studios. And follow me on Twitter at WillFilm1. You stay classy, live long, and prosper, and peace out.